Thank you very much. Welcome everyone, 2017 Stone Expo. My name is Matthew Davis from DeRusha Supply, and gentleman to my right is our manufacturer partner, Steve Guyman from 10X Weha USA. We're very excited to be here today, have the opportunity to demonstrate multiple products for you. For those of you, just real quick, we wanted to thank you very much for coming out, partaking in this event. Without, of course, all of you, none of this would be possible. At DeRusha Supply, we are very pleased to be this year's demo sponsor for the booth, and we hope that you find all of this year's demonstrations very informative and effective for your everyday business. Also, all of the products that we'll be demonstrating today, please make sure to stop by the booth. We're at 691 on the north side of the building. They'll be there for you to check out. We have lots of our sales professionals there that can also take you through another demonstration if you want to see them a little closer up. So at DeRusha Supply, on an everyday basis, one of the most common questions that we get from customers, just like you, regarding the different bonding agents for the various products in the market. Our industry is ever changing, and the new UCF products, the ultra compact market, really changing the ways that we go to business together as a team. So our manufacturing partner, Steve Guyman, and the whole 10X team never cease to be extremely innovative with new products and making sure that we have them readily available for you when you need them to save you time and money on each individual product that you're facing. So I'll just welcome Mr. Guyman from 10X, and we'll get going for you.
Excellent. Thanks, Matt. Number one, thank you guys for being here. Really appreciate it. As Matt kind of started out by saying, the biggest question that we all get as fabricators, as manufacturers, we always get is what glue am I supposed to use? What adhesive am I supposed to use? You know, we have this term that we roll around and say, I just need some epoxy. Give me some epoxy. I need more epoxy. Well, epoxy is like Kleenex, right? What brand? It's a general term that we use. So what I want to try and do today is I want to talk about specific applications. I want to talk about specific glues. I want to talk about kind of what to use and where. And it's not exclusive, guys. I mean, you can use just about anything everywhere, but it's kind of the difference between having a whole set of wrenches or just one crescent wrench, right? The right tool for the right job. So we're going to talk about a little bit of the different chemistries, a little bit of different products, what they do, how strong they are, how weak they are, and kind of some applications. And here's the thing. I am so not used to standing on a stage with a microphone and talking to people. I'm used to being in a dusty, dirty shop with grinders going in the background and CNCs running. So I would really appreciate y'all if you make a little bit of noise, kind of throw some things out. Honestly, ask anything you guys want. Tell me what you guys are doing. Tell me an application. Tell me the trouble that you're having. Right, because at the end of the day, we're just a solutions provider. It's what we do. So, starting out, the different types of adhesives. What are we doing in the shop? Right, one of the big things our installers are doing is we're seaming things. Right, we're putting seams together on installs, or we're doing miters. Or if we're doing stuff in the monument industry, we're working outside. What are we supposed to use? What is stronger than what? So let's get rid of the term, just give me some epoxy, right? Let's call things for what they are, and let's try and explain what they are. The first level, when you look at the different types of adhesives that we use on a daily basis. So we're going to start out with our polyesters, right? So if you look at a polyester, and you guys are all going to know what this looks like. Y'all know what it smells like. I could have had this pre-opened and it would have been a lot easier. So there's your polyester, right? It's the stuff that's smelly. It's that amber color. This works really, really well. Polyester is a static bond. What does a static bond mean? It's a mechanical bond. It doesn't really chemically bond to anything. It's back in the day, I mean, really, it was used more of a filler than it was an adhesive. But in our industry and what we do, it works as a pretty good. It works as a pretty good adhesive. We use it in laminations. We use it out in the field in seams. Is it the only thing that we should use? There are better products out there. Is it by far probably one of the most popular ones? Absolutely. Why? It's inexpensive. And it's easy to use, right? You just take a little bit of this, you mix in a little bit of that, and you have an adhesive. So it works, but there's better. right? So in the polyester world, what are you guys going to use a polyester for? Well, realistically, you can use it for anything. And I'm not going to try and tell any of you if you're using it. This is my living, right? I make this stuff, so I'm not going to tell you not to use it, right? But there are better things. So we move up, and by far it is when you're looking at the strength of glues, it's probably down here, which is fine. It's good. We've been using it for many, many, many years. It's working just fine. But let's move up to the next level, right?
If I may first,
Yeah.
just interject real
Yeah,
quick.
please.
As far as the mechanical bond, what Steve was saying, being on the low end spectrum. So mechanical bond, there's actually no strong ties inside the stone. So if you picture a peanut butter and jam sandwich, when you peel those apart, as the peanut butter and the jam comes apart, that's actually the mechanical bond of it. So it's the product adhering to itself to the stone. There's nothing actually penetrating into the stone, to the roots of the stone in the pores that are creating that chemical bond. So as we continue up the ladder in strength, Steve will explain this in depth.
Yeah, I used to use the analogy of taking a balloon, and if you rub it on your hair, but well, that doesn't work for me anymore. So you can't create that static and stick it to your shirt. So we're using the peanut butter sandwich analogy now. It works much better. So the next level up. Yeah, thank you appreciate that. The next level up. Just in general, let's move up to acrylics, right? So what is the issues? Why did guys say, well, we want something a little better. We need something a little stronger. We want something easier to use than this amber stuff in a can. Great. So we went up and we talk about acrylics. Acrylics come in a cartridge. Acrylics do come in a can also. This is going to be a color matched acrylic. It's a 10-to-1 ratio. It's everything going to be mixed. You're going to pop it right into a gun. And for seams, for miters, for anything, you're starting to move up the ladder into getting a stronger adhesive. It's easier to use. It's color matched. Hundreds and hundreds of colors. So you're not having there to sit and you're not having to mix colors for every single application. Here's the neat thing. When you talk about a cartridge system, it's kind of cool because what you're doing in your shop, when you're mitering that job in your shop and you got the guys out on the floor that are tinting that glue, when your guys go to install it, they're going to use the same glue. It's going to match every single time. You don't have to worry about this guy mixing that color and that guy mixing that color. It's a color match system, so they're going to be using it consistency. So your jobs look better, homeowners are happy, we get paid. So on something like this, oops.
10-to-1.
Yep, sorry.
Another nice thing about this product is you have the larger format for inside the shop. This is a 250 mil. It also comes in the 500 mil for those more common colors that you're going to run on an everyday basis. And where Steve had mentioned for the guys that are doing an install, we also have a 50 mil size as well. So, we can avoid a lot of waste on site for the installers. This will get you through one job and it's thrown away. So at 10X, they're really trying to cover all angles for in-shop, guys doing repairs and installation on site as well.
So one of the neat things from the acrylic side is the acrylics and it came really from more of a solid surface industry type, right? It glues our solid surface together. And when we start using it for stone, one of the issues that we had is, this stuff is dripping. It's kind of like honey. It drips off. So what we did with this product is we went ahead and we made it thick.
Take that for you.
So what you're looking at is it's not going to come off. All your dollars are not dripping onto the floor. You're not sitting in the kitchen and worrying about $40,000 worth of cabinets and getting glue all over it or running paper all over the floors and ruining the floors. It stays on. It gives us that same benefit that we had with this, guys. It's kind of like a knife grade. It's a gel. It's not going to shake off. So pretty neat idea that we did. And it's color matched. So that's a big benefit. So as we talk about, I forgot the epoxy cans, 2-part epoxy. So imagine I have 2 cans of epoxy here. When you go up next in strength, right, we're talking about maybe some outside applications, or we really gotta bond 2 pieces of stone together and we never want them to come apart. Then you're moving up into a true 2-part epoxy, right? An A and a B, a 1-to-1 or a 2-to-1 type of ratio. Monument industry, they use it all the time. They use epoxy when they're setting pins for the monument, or if you're Big thing for epoxy, setting headstones, right? When you're taking the headstone and setting in a foundation, they're using epoxies for that. And that bond is typically stronger than the stone itself. So it's a phenomenal, phenomenal glue. It sticks to anything and you'll never get it apart. Where we use it in our industry is it yellows, right? It turns a little bit of a yellow color, right? And it's not very UV stable. Amazing freeze thaw. Use it outside all day long, but you just can't look at it. So what do we do when we go outside, right? What do we do for the big thing, right? Take your indoor kitchen out. I bet you guys have all started doing a lot more of these outdoor barbecues, outdoor kitchens. I know up here, and we only get a very few months to use our barbecues with our winters. But so what we start looking at is we start looking at these hybrid type glues, right? These polyepoxies or vinyl esters or different types of urethane type product, all these different mixes. And that's where we came in to something, a product. This just happens to be one. It's called Glax, right? Glax is a cartridge type system, a bunch of different curing speeds. But the neat thing with this one product, and it's one of many hybrid type of glues, this is never going to yellow, ever. You can put it outside all day long. Neat thing with this particular one is it'll never bleed into your stone. So what's the big colors right now that are in shops? What's everybody buying? Whites and grays, right? Marble, right? Everybody's doing the marble. What's one of the issues that we're having with marble? Bleeding, right? When you seam that together and you get that gray line that looks like it's wet, this is not going to bleed and it's not going to yellow. You can use it outside all day long. So that's when you start to look at, you can start using this in a bunch of different places. So, and it's a very, very strong adhesive at that. So
It also has, compared to some of the other products like our polyesters, or we get into our acrylics, they do have quite a scent to them that are sometimes off-putting, especially if we're on-site or at a home, and we're doing those repairs. We may have homeowners there, and the temperatures may not be in our favor, that we can open a window and eradicate those smells. This product also happens to have zero smell at all. There's literally nothing, so there's no off-putting smell. It's quite a phenomenal product. We have a lot of guys using it for exterior purposes here in Canada. We need extreme freeze-thaw products that can handle our conditions. So this is an exceptional product, and it comes in 3 different settings. This size format, just so you know, is more of a, we call this a saver product. It has a 1-minute set time and a 10-minute cure. And this product also goes up the spectrum to a longer dry time depending on the application. So it can save you in a pinch with a clear product or something in a milky white for these more porous marbles that are prone to bleeding. So.
Perfect.
Yeah.
Talking about some of these hybrid glues, let's talk about some of the specifics. Who fabricates Dectin? Anyone using any of the
Any Dectin
ceramics?
users?
The Dectin, the Lapitec, the Neolith, any of the
these?
ceramics or porcelains, the ultra compacts?
Ultra compacts.
You're not now, and believe me, you will. It's coming down the pipeline. And that's where we start getting into some of the specialty adhesives, right? Some of the porcelains and the ceramics, what they're calling ultra compact surfaces, like Cosentino Dectin or the Breton Lapitec or the Neolith, the giant booth right down there. This is the kind of adhesive that you want to use for these. It's a specialty adhesive. That's specifically what it's designed for. 10X, we manufactured this specifically for Cosentino and Dectin. It's a completely UV stable product. Use it outside all day long. It's not going to yellow. It works really, really well. It was the original. It was the first adhesive to be certified by them to be able to use on their product. So it's a very, very strong. Again, we get back into the hybrid type adhesives. That's what you're looking at in this. So just kind of talking about, right, we had our 3 different glues, right? We have our polyesters in strength here. We have our acrylic sitting here, and then we have our epoxies sitting right in here. So one of the questions that a lot of fabricators came with, well, they're saying, you know, we like this, right? We love our cans. We're not going to get rid of cans, and you know, we're just not ready for the culture change of moving over to a cartridge system. I see half of you in here smiling and shaking your heads going, yeah, exactly, because this is a big change, right? This is a big deal. It's a huge step. There's savings, there's time savings, there's money savings in it, but nevertheless, our staff, our installers, our team, it's a big shift in the manufacturing, and sometimes we're just too darn busy to be able to make such a big change. So you're asking, you go, Steve, we need a better glue. We need something a little bit stronger, but you got to make it easy, because our guys use this, and it's really, really easy to use. This, we're not ready to go. What do you have that's in between? What do you do? So we developed what's called it's called our titanium. This is chemistry-wise, this is a vinyl ester, right? So you got a nice white creamy base. It's not going to drip. It's not going to fall down. And it mixes the exact same way as you're going to mix your normal polyester. Takes color beautifully well, really, really well. Much stronger than a plain polyester, right? You're not reaching epoxy level type of strength. You don't need that. That's not what we're looking for. We just need something stronger, and we need something easy to use. That's where we're getting into the titanium, vinyl ester type product. Again, we're talking about these hybrid glues, and that's the way that the trend is going. I can tell you, and some of my other manufacturing friends that are out here, they'll tell you where the trend is going, and where they're seeing polyesters kind of do this a little bit, and they're seeing all the rest of the other types of adhesive start to take off. And that's just the way it's going. People need better performance. It's just not about price anymore, because I'll tell you something, the most expensive thing that we do in our shop are callbacks. Callbacks are horrible. They're terrible. We all hate them because they're free. Hate using the word free, but they're free, and free to the homeowner, but they cost you guys a lot of money. So that's, at the end of the day, it's kind of what we're trying to do. We don't want that lamination to fall off. We don't want that seam to pop. We don't want that outdoor barbecue to turn yellow in a year after it's been in there. Those are the kind of problems that, look, I don't do this stuff for a living anymore, so that's not my thing. These are the things that you guys are telling us what we need to make and what we need to do and how we need to put things together. So we have
go ahead. Just a quick question at the back.
Yeah. So her question was, if you guys didn't hear, is kind of what's the cost? What are your percentage differences? And that's a great question. If I'm going from this to this, what is my jump? What's going to happen? Or if I go from this to this, where am I going to go? What's going to happen? So this, by far, I'm just going to tell you right now, if we want to talk about the cents or the pennies per milliliter, right? This is by far going to be your least expensive. Absolutely. And I'm going to sound like a broken record. You're going to get what you pay for. You just do. But this is going to be by far the least expensive that you're going to use. You jump up into a cartridge type system, you can be in upwards of well over 5 times the cost, 6 times, 7 times. But we're only looking at a very, very small aspect of this, is you're just looking at the cost for the adhesive itself. What am I saving in hardener? What am I saving in colors? Right? I'm not buying pigment kits anymore. What am I saving in time? Right? How much time am I saving by not doing this, matching the color, doing this, matching the color? How much time am I saving in that? Outside of this, a stronger glue. Mm-hmm. What is my time saving in my callbacks, right? And not having failures out in the field. So all of a sudden, guys, that cost starts to do this. And in reality, in some parts, it can start doing this. I'm actually saving more money by going to this type of system. So I want to give you a very definitive answer, and I can't. The reason why is because your shop is going to be different than your shop. It's going to be different than your shop, and yours, and yours. Every one of you guys, you can have a team of 1 install crew or 50 install crews, right? You guys might specialize in doing tons of miter work. You're huge in doing miter work. You don't do any. So where does it benefit you where it's not going to benefit you? So that's what we look at, and that's what I get to do in my territory in the U.S. and up here in Canada. I get to go to each and every one of your shops, and we get to identify what you guys are doing. Because the neatest thing about my company in 10X in general is what we manufacture and what we make. We can provide you guys what you need, not just what I have. And that's the big, big difference, because I have all the different lines. We make all the different types of adhesives, and we'll find one that will fit your needs. It's not just what I happen to have in my trunk, and that's the only thing I get to push, right? So there's a big difference. Your second question, I'm sorry. Shelf life.
Yeah,
Excellent. So shelf life, when you're looking at, when you're looking at a polyester, so everything that we like to talk about as manufacturers, these guys are going to attest to it. I'm going to tell you, it is temperature gets involved, and I'm sorry, it just does. So we're going to tell you some kind of a shelf life, and we're going to sit here and say, but that is measured at you keeping it at this temperature. These things can vary in shelf life when you have temperature variations. Right? So when you look at these, this doesn't like the freezing very well. Put this in a freezer and thaw it, right? Not really working all that well afterwards. Yet I can take this and throw it in a freezer, pull it back out, and it works perfectly fine. So this one is affected more by heat. This one, more of heat and cold. So if you talk about shelf life, we're going to give you an answer. If this was sitting in perfect conditions, you're going to be sitting at about 2 years of shelf life. Your polyesters, these are going to be sitting about 1 year, maybe longer. I personally, I have polyester sitting on my shelf and it's 4 years old, as I'll admit it right now. I'm one of those, and it still works just fine. So it all depends on how it's stored. That'll remove specific stains, sure. So 10X, outside of being a resin manufacturer, I mean 10X is worldwide. That's what we do. Is our kind of thing is resin and surface polishing and chemicals. I like to make this little joke. So a lot of the slabs that you guys get today that have all the epoxy resins in them, those are pretty much most of them. A lot of them are our resins. That's what we do. A lot of the quartz manufacturers and the resins that are in there, it's a lot of our resins. So all the problems that you guys are having with all of your slabs coming in, yeah, it's pretty much our fault. So we did it. We caused that issue. We caused that edge to turn white when you're polishing it. Hence the reason we have chemicals that can take care of that. As far as stain removers, marble etch removers, rust removers, we have a full line of those products, again, to solve the problems that we kind of cause. So absolutely. Yep, absolutely. Sure, thank you. What else, guys? Anything? We still
Just add a little more to shelf life with all of the all the bi-components that we do offer through 10X. They actually mix. They don't actually start to touch each other until they're in the mixing tip. They are purged through two separate outlets. Some of the other competitor products, which you had asked about in the marketplace, I mean, when this was designed, I mean, it's not a new product. It's not new technology. What 10X really tried to do when they brought the multi-bond out was take what's in the marketplace and make it better. And some of those things, as Steve had mentioned, was making it a little bit thicker for the miter, but a big component of it as well was avoiding any contamination in the end of the cartridge. Mm-hmm. So that has significantly helped to increase the product longevity.
Going on that same line, what do we do to kind of improve the lives of our fabricators, right? So I will bet, raise of hands, who all uses canned glues in here? Who all has canned adhesives? Shaking your head, yeah, all right, cool. How many of you have cans that probably sit just like this with a stick stuck in it, the lid is nowhere to be found?
All day.
All day long, right? Or, you get the bottom of it, or the big 5-gallon pails of it. So, again, this is something that you guys asked us to do. It's, man, how do we get away from this? We love the glue, right? But it's in a can. What do we do? So, we came up with The sausage. That's all that it is. Same glue, guys. All we did is we changed the packaging and the handling. You're still going to mix it the same. You're still going to put the hardener in the exact same way. We're not going to create that culture change. What we're going to do is we're just going to make it a little bit easier and a little bit cleaner to use. Pop this in, slit the top, put that on, and you're ready to go ahead and squirt it on your palette or your cardboard or whatever you're going to mix, right? And when you're done, you set it down, just like that. I can sit for a week. I've had the same one sitting in my office for 2 weeks. It hasn't dripped anything out of it. It's not going to harden, right? Because there's no hardener in here. And then you're ready to use it. The neat thing about this is when you are done, this little cartridge in here, this sausage, your waste is about that much. This thing flattens to almost nothing. All the glue's out. So all you're throwing away, guys, instead of a can, is you get to throw away a little aluminum foil disc. So talk about savings, talk about waste factor, talk about just cans sitting around with no lids on them, just going bad, smelling up the shop. This isn't going to do that anymore.
Well, especially too for the guys on site.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
Install crews, guys who are going out to do repairs. I mean, this is the biggest issue. I meet up with a lot of installers and a lot of repair guys in the city as we're traveling around in the mobile units, and I'm selling 1 liter cans like crazy. So this is going to solve that problem. I mean,
Right.
our glue sales are going to go down.
Oh,
But-
yeah.
But
I mean,
ultimately, that's what we're here for, is to
it-
help you guys find better solutions, save time and money.
yeah. I mean, think about it. How many times, every one of you have been out on an install. How many times have you had the homeowner going, oh, stuff just smells, right? Because it's sitting in a big open can. So this helps that. And don't get me wrong, just think of the presentation. I mean, look at, this thing's just nasty looking. I mean, it just is, right? Think of how professional it looks, because we're all trying to portray a good image. When we go to that homeowner's home, your installers, that's the face of your company, man, every single time. It just looks
clean.
better. Just looks nicer, looks more professional. So, and there, oh, by the way, there's no cost difference. It's the same. So we haven't increased your guys' cost any to be able to go to this type of a thing. Okay? So, how are we doing on time?
I think we're just about there.
Just
I
about
guess
there.
Just as a quick closing again, please come by the north side of the building. We're at booth 629. We have the full 10X product line there. Steve and myself will be there for further demos. The rest of these products we can touch and feel. Please grab one of the 2017 catalogs. We have over 6,500 products in stock. Certainly any type of project that you're tackling in the stone industry, we're certain to have all the products that you need. We can get them to you quickly and on time, and the right products, most importantly. And that's what this demo is about, is to kind of cover the broad spectrum to let you know that not only do we have products, we stock lots of products, but we stock the right products that you need to save you time and money.